Hello, and welcome today to this presentation. My name is Sigrid Rosk Bjarnadottir. I am an associate professor in the Civil and Environmental Engineering Department at the University of Iceland. And today I would like to take a few minutes just to introduce our master's program here at the University of Iceland. So the first question is, of course, why should you pursue a master's studies in civil or environmental engineering? And I hope the first answer to that question is because you want to become an expert in a selected field. There is something that piqued your interest either during your undergraduate studies or now when you've maybe entered the workforce. There's something that kind of piqued your interest and you really want to do a deep dive into that field and really become an expert in your selected field. Really become essentially the best in something. And then there's maybe a practical answer to this question, and that is to become a professional or chartered engineer in Iceland. You essentially need to have an MS degree. So this is a legally protected title, which means that you need a license, and a necessary step to obtaining that license is a master's degree. Being a chartered engineer essentially means that you have more responsibility at work, you have more independence at work, and you typically have maybe a higher income. But again, you always have this potential to become, to take part in so many different various fields of civil and environmental engineering. At the University of Iceland, within the Civil and Environmental Engineering Department, we lay a very heavy emphasis on quality, flexibility, and interdisciplinary. So this is an internationally recognized 2-year study program with an emphasis on Icelandic conditions. Okay. The study plan itself for each individual student is very individualized. You as a student take a lot of have a lot of control over how you plan your study plan. You have the option to take electives within environmental and civil engineering. You can take electives within the engineering department as a whole or within natural sciences as a whole. Also, you have the option of developing up to 15 credits in reading courses with your advisor. Here you really do get that chance to really dive into some of your areas of interest. We also offer a 60 credit exchange abroad program. We do have, we work very closely with other universities abroad, making this a relatively seamless kind of transition between abroad and Iceland. And this really gives you an opportunity to go elsewhere, bring back to Iceland some new knowledge and really implement that into your final thesis project. Also within the final thesis project, we have a lot of flexibility. We offer either a 30 credit practical value engineering thesis. And then if you want to go even further, we offer up a 60 credit thesis project. Now this 60 credit thesis project has scientific value, and this usually leads to some new internationally relevant engineering knowledge. I'd like to point out that if you do see yourself maybe going further in and pursuing a doctorate education upon completing your MS, we do recommend that you pursue a 60 degree or 60 credit, I should say, thesis project. I'd also like to point out that our final thesis projects are often in very strong collaboration with Icelandic companies. Right now we have a project where a student is working with the Icelandic Road Authority on developing solutions that can really reduce construction times. We have other projects that are ongoing, for example, with one of the premier cement and concrete producers in Iceland, where we're looking at new additives that can really drive down the carbon footprint of concrete in Iceland without having any impact on the structural structural capabilities of concrete. So we really do try to work in collaboration with Icelandic companies, and this really does have some added value both for the students and for these companies and for the university. So we offer a MS degree in civil engineering and an MS degree in environmental engineering. First, if we just look at the emphasis areas within the civil engineering, we have building and earthquake engineering. Here we're looking at structures and housing construction and natural hazards. If we look at Iceland, we have a lot of earthquake action, so it's very important that we deep dive into how these earthquakes are having an effect on our structures and on all this infrastructure that we are constructing. We also have an emphasis area on geotechnical and transportation engineering. Here we are focused on earth-fill dams, rock tunnels, steel retaining walls, and road and transportation infrastructure. We also have an emphasis area of renewable energy. This is a collaborative area that a lot of different departments throughout the university take part in, but we are looking at hydropower and wind energy. You can either pursue this from a civil engineering emphasis, or you can also pursue this as an environmental engineering emphasis. Within environmental engineering, we have a few emphasis areas. First, we have environmental quality. This revolves a lot around clean air, clean water, and clean nature. We are very particular about what we put into our bodies, such as the air. So it's very important that we have clean air and we understand how we can keep this air clean. We also offer areas of study into sustainable studies and safe transportation. Here we're looking at, we have all of this infrastructure, we have all of these buildings. There is a massive carbon footprint from this built environment. So it's very important to us to try to figure out ways to really understand this carbon footprint and develop strategies to try to reduce this carbon footprint. We're also looking at traffic safety and travel behavior. We also offer the area of research of water resources engineering. Here we are looking into hydropower, wastewater treatment, drinking water, and coastal infrastructure. And then again, we offer the emphasis area of renewable energy through the environmental engineering, which is again worked in collaboration with other departments across the university, where we are focused on hydropower and wind energy. And I think it's very important that we kind of stress the fact that these final theses are really worked in a sense that we are trying to add to Icelandic development. So you actually, through your studies in the at the University of Iceland, you essentially gain the knowledge to develop solutions to important engineering topics in the light of sustainability. So we're really using innovation for advancing society in a time of change. So right now we are really in a huge time of change. We're really recognizing the importance of climate change and the effects that climate change may have on the built environment. So it's very important that when we are developing solutions, that we are doing that with the thought of sustainability in mind. And then it's always important when we talk about sustainable development to mention the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and we try to work towards these goals in the solutions that we are proposing in these final thesis projects. So it's very important to maybe recognize that courses within the master's program are very specialized, which usually means that they're relatively small courses. But this is fantastic because this really gives you a deep connection both with the teachers of the courses and also students within the course. So you really develop a strong relationship. Within our courses, we have teachers from across the University of Iceland teaching these courses, but we also have specialists from local companies and institutions that come in and teach our courses and also take part in supervising our final thesis projects. So here again is this opportunity for you as a student to really create a strong connection with Icelandic local companies and institutions. This is an international program. We have a very diverse faculty with international experience and connections. Most of us who teach at the University of Iceland and teach within the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering have studied abroad and have worked abroad, which means we have wide connections, networks that you now have an access to as a student. Again, as I said earlier, we have this option of 1 or 2 semesters in exchange studies abroad, which here again, you have this opportunity to gain knowledge from abroad and bring them back and really use that knowledge in both your final thesis project and in whatever else you will do then in the future. Within our courses, we have international students, which means most of our courses or a lot of our courses are taught in English, which really helps emphasize this international studies, how international our program is. And then we are all, a lot of the faculty are actively participating in international projects, which again means that you as a student have a lot of access to wide networks of connections. So I guess the question becomes now, after my short presentation, is the master's program at the University of Iceland for you within either civil engineering or environmental engineering? And the answer should be yes. If you like an individualized study program, you want to have an impact on how your study program is built up. If you want to get to know local experts, if you want to strengthen both local and international connections, and if you want to create new knowledge and shape society, then the master's program and in civil engineering or environmental engineering is, of course, for you. We do have some admittance requirements, and these are a undergraduate degree or equivalent in engineering, computer sciences, or natural resources. And if you have any questions on the admittance requirements, please contact us, and we will help figure things out for you. Now, I hope that I've kind of awakened some sort of interest with you. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We have an email here. We have a telephone number. The website is always open at hi.is. And please, don't hesitate to call us or get in touch. So I encourage you all to apply, and I look forward to seeing you here at the University of Iceland. Thank you. Bye.